nice to be back.
You're looking well.
Yeah, I feel relaxed. It's nice to watch a game in the jungle from way up top and just relax and enjoy it. So I'm having a great time.
Are you skating as hard as you used to here?
Well, I try to stay in shape, but the guys are a little faster up there. They kind of leave me in the dust, so I haven't been able to keep up.
As far as the Mighty Ducks are concerned, you have been a pretty surprising team, and especially on the road, Al. What are you doing to them?
I don't know, Bob. On the road, we've got the secret. We've got it all figured out. At home is where we have our problems, but we've gone into places like Chicago and won, Detroit, Toronto, some of the toughest buildings in the league, St. Louis, and come out winners. We're the first team with 12 road wins in the NHL, and I think we still lead with 12 wins. So we're 500 on the road, and we're way below 500 at home. So if we can figure out how to win at the pond, I think we may have a shot at the playoffs. We're tied for a playoff spot right now.
Well, I'm sure you got some influence on that because we never had too shabby a road record while Simsey was on the bench here.
Yeah, it's true. Last year with the record, they're 10 in a row, and this team is very similar, the Ducks, to our team last year. A bunch of real hard-working guys and terrific goaltending. Like we had Pokey last year. We got Hebert and Tugnut just doing the same thing to teams, and it really frustrates them, and our guys' work ethic just wins us a lot of games on the road.
Now, you mentioned those goaltenders' names, and they're not what you might call marquee names as far as the big stars are concerned, but again, it's a chance where good selection by good scouting can pick guys with a lot of native talent, and they want to come to work, and when they get a steady job, they play like crazy, don't they?
Yeah, it's true, Bob. Guy Hebert's a young kid. He's only 24, 25 years old. He looks like a top prospect for the future for a long time. Ron Tugnut's a year older than him, and they both played sensational. Our scouts made no mistakes taking them. Florida's obviously been helped by Van Beesbrook and Fitzpatrick, and of course we got Tugnut and Hebert doing the same thing, and consequently 18 wins to this point in the season and 40 points, and Florida's a little better than us.
You look at what's going on in the expansion, and people say, my golly, here's Pokey, had a great year last year, now he's in Cincinnati, how come Pokey's not in the National Hockey League? And again, it's a case probably with Pokey of numbers, I guess, much as anything.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. He couldn't have picked a worse team probably to go to with Van Beesbrook and Fitzpatrick getting chosen. And, Pokey is the third guy. It's just unfortunate because I think he could play in the National Hockey League as a second guy or a first guy on some teams with his talent and ability, and his confidence level is still where it was last year. Obviously, his save percentage, his goals against, he's with a very good team in Cincinnati, and you know what he's going to be like in the playoffs. If we haven't got a goalie to match him, it's going to be tough putting Cincinnati out. So, it's unfortunate for Pokey. He's got to spend another year in the minors, but hopefully somebody will see him and maybe pick him up next year.
Some of the players that played for you last year have made a couple of visits to the Apple, and I guess the most notable now would be Igor, and I understand you've seen Igor, and he seems to be hanging in up in Hartford.
Yeah, I talked to him, Bob. He's got a big smile on his face. He speaks English a lot better. Him and his wife took English classes this summer, and he's playing on the fourth line. He gets about 4 or 5 shifts a game, but he's playing with great players up there, and Igor can move the puck. He can skate with the best of them, and he doesn't look out of place at all. He's got 9 points in 18 games, playing very limited time, and looks real happy. And I also saw Kevin Kaminsky in Washington.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to send his best to everybody in Fort Wayne, and he played against us, and they beat us 3-0. So Kevin's doing well too. So a couple of comments, and of course Robin Bauer with us is also doing very well. He's our 13th forward right now, not playing a lot, but when he gets his chance, he does his job. And Robin, big smile on his face all the time. He's just great to have around.
So what it's done, it's given people with marginal talent but an awful lot of desire a chance to prove themselves and really earn their way in a National Hockey League team.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. Most of our guys are third and fourth liners from other teams, but the one thing they all brought to the Ducks was a work ethic and a lot of character. And with no superstars, our team's done exceptionally well. We haven't made any deals all season long. We've gone with the same guys that we drafted. Kids have come up from the minors and helped us. Donnie McSween's with us now. Jared Scaldy's playing well. It seems like anybody we call does the job for us. So it's been a great experience for me. I'm learning the league, and I'm just being like a sponge. I watch Bowman's practices. I watch Keenan's. I try to get in on every little bit of information I can and soak it up. And it's been a relaxing year for me. The pressure's not directly on me. Ron gives me a lot of responsibility on the bench with the defense, coaching the defense, and then I do the penalty killing, and it's been a real enjoyable experience. So
kind of fun getting around all the old barns you played in for so long?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, Bob. You get the old skates on and breeze around Chicago Stadium and relive your past, so to speak. So it's a lot of fun. It's been a great time for me. I've seen a lot of people in different stadiums around that knew me when I played that come up out of the blue and say hi to me, and it's just been a great experience for me, and I've been very fortunate to get the job with Disney and work with Ron and Tim. They're both great guys, and we're three of the youngest coaches in the league, three first-year guys, and everybody's real thrilled with what's happening so far. So hopefully we can do the second half like we did the first.
And again, it's not a case, as I understand it, of coaches' longevity, and you struck a word a little earlier when you said you chose players with a lot of character, because I think no one proved any more than the Fort Wayne Komets a year ago how much character means when it comes to winning when the chips are really down.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. You can't replace guys like, Ian Boyce and Lee Davidson and Hankinson, what they did last year for us in a checking role, and just the whole team, all 20 guys we had here, 22 guys did the job and paid the price, did whatever it took, and character's always been a big thing with me when I was picking my teams here, and we've got plenty of it in Anaheim, and it's just been a great joy to coach these guys. I've got a lot of minor league defensemen like Bobby Dulles and Billy Holder and Mark Ferner, Donnie McSween, and they're playing up to par at the National League, and it's just great to coach these kids every day and see them improve and play as well as they're playing.
Is there a big difference now? You've had a lot of concentration in this league, and now you move to the National Hockey League and with an expansion team as well. Is there a big difference in terms of the speed and execution yet?
Well, I think it's definitely probably a step and a half quicker than here, or 2 steps, especially teams like Detroit with Fedorov and Yzerman and Coffey, the way they skate. But the biggest difference I noticed from when I played there is the size. These kids are all 6'2", 200 pounds now, and they can skate like the wind, and they're bulging with muscles. They're in great shape. It's really a business now. The kids are making $300-400 on the average, and everybody works real hard to get there, and when they get there, they work real hard to stay there, and it's the difference is really the size and the speed of the game. It's just incredible at that level now, and the goaltending every night, night in, night out, is just spectacular.
Yeah, there's not a bad goaltender in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, that's true. Every night you're facing a Belfour, or a Potvin, or a Curtis Joseph, or Kelly Rudy, or whoever it is, but every team's got one big stopper, and they're just tremendous to watch every night.
I guess if there's one thing I notice as I watch the National League games, is it's a perpetual motion game, and nobody stands around to watch you play. They're in the move, they're either with the puck, working for the puck, but there's movement all the time going in the league. You rarely see anybody just flat standing still.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. One of the big rules, a thumb up with our team, is move your feet, and we constantly preach it to the players, and these guys, when they get the puck, they got to be moving their feet all the time, because it's so quick up there. You get checked from behind or stripped from behind, and you got to keep that thing moving forward, moving it quickly. So we work with our team every day in practice on moving that puck forward and quickly and moving your feet. So
I know one of the great stories Bobby J told, the first game he played with the Kings was in New York, and he said his first shift, he looked up and the first guy coming down on him was Mark Messier.
That's got to be quite a scary thrill for Bobby, I'll tell you. But I talked to him after he played, and he was thrilled. Barry Melrose loved him and gave him a chance. Unfortunately, he got an injury, but I think Bobby got a taste of it, knows he can play at that level now, and just needs to work hard to get back there. And I think a summer of training and stuff, get himself a little stronger. I know LA thinks highly of him.
That's got to make you feel good, because Bobby J was at best a kid with a lot of heart and marginal talent who didn't have very much confidence in his own ability, and I thought you did a heck of a job for him and brought him out of that and made him play with confidence.
Well, thanks, Bob. He was one of my favorite kids ever since he first came here. Never had much offensive ability, and when he left me 3 years later last year, at the end of last year, could play the power play. I was a tremendous penalty killer, shot blocker. Actually, my most reliable defenseman at the end last year, and before the Turner Cup Finals, but just really game in and game out was probably my most reliable guy last year, and it's nice to see those guys move on and carry the Comet logo wherever they go with them.
I felt kind of sorry for Bobby when we played them in Phoenix, because it's the first time he'd seen us all year, and he was visibly a little shaken and emotional by it all, and he wanted to have this tremendous game, and he had a terrible game.
Yeah, that usually happens.
The guys were really kidding him between the two games, but he felt so bad. In fact, he was replaced several times. You could just see, zoom, down went the old spirit, but the next night he came back and played a great game.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He'll bounce back from stuff like that, but I'm sure he was very nervous the first game, and probably was more nerves than anything that caused him to have a bad game. So, but he bounces back from stuff like that. He's a real tough competitor, and he's real mentally tough. So I know he's helping Phoenix along, and he's in nice weather, nice country, and very close to Los Angeles. So when they need a D, I'm sure he'll get the call.
It only seems like yesterday when I picked up a telephone and there was a fellow by the name of Al Sims on the line from Southern California, wondering if the Fort Wayne Hockey Club needed an assistant coach and a part-time player, and Robbie came back from a practice, and I said Al Sims had called, and he looked and he said, "You mean D.L. Sims?" And I said, "I guess it was." And the rest of it all got started, and it's really great to have seen you start here with the objective. Nothing has stood in your way, and you've done a great job all the way up the line, and you've got to be in a great zone right now and a great organization with a chance to keep right on going.
Yeah, I think so, Bob. I think I put myself in a good position this year with my past. Obviously, what I did here will never leave me on my resume and stuff, and I think with a couple of years or even 1 year as an assistant and knowing the NHL, knowing every team in the NHL, knowing the players now, the systems that work, systems that don't work, I think, and seeing our team and the way Ron coaches, I really feel I can be successful at that level, and I know my chance will come, and when it does, it's up to me to just start over again like I did here and chase a Stanley Cup till we get one, but it was a tremendous thrill last year, and I see Comet fans everywhere, in Anaheim, in L.A., in St. Louis, everywhere I go, even down in Florida, I saw some people going to Disneyland with Comet jerseys on, and they're all over North America, so it's neat to meet them everywhere, and they all love the Ducks. You know, everybody's got our stuff on.
I know, yeah. You've got probably one of the greatest marketed logos. I mean, the Sharks had a great time, but boy, the Ducks are positively flying, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. I think they're 90% of the NHL merchandise right now, and probably every team in the NHL is going to get $1 million from the Ducks this year for the merchandising, and the stuff's going great all over the world, and it's nice to see all the kids with it on, and some people laugh at our logo and name, but we've left a streak across Canada where people don't laugh at us anymore. We went 4-0 on a road trip, and we beat Toronto and Toronto, and
Winnipeg and Winnipeg.
Yeah, some of the older established cities that kind of laugh at new teams, and they're not laughing anymore, so it's been kind of neat to win in those arenas.
You got a kind of a peaceful countenance, Al. It's obvious that you're feeling good about yourself and you're feeling good about what you're doing, and that's great because you made a great contribution here. And I know we feel good about the fact that Fort Wayne is still part of your life.
Yeah, it's true. You know, first chance we had to get back, me and Sue wanted to come back, and I missed the head coaching part, obviously. Would love to be down there behind the bench right now, but my time will come again, and like I said, with Ron giving me responsibility, it's not as that bad being an assistant. And, you know, I'm just trying to learn, like I said, and soak it up and wait for my chance, and then I'm going to go at it full board. But it's nice to have a year off from the stress and strain of being a head coach, and that's probably why I look as relaxed as I do right now. So I'm enjoying it. And,
you're kind of in a right time, right place situation.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, we wish you the best, and we follow you with every game, and we always think about you. We've got those several. We follow you with the Ducks, and of course, we're always watching to see what happens with Igor and Hartford, knowing that you've got a lot of comments, and we're thankful you came back to have a look. We appreciate your time on the air, and get those Ducks flying high on.
Okay, Bob, great talking to you as usual. Take care.
Thank you. Al Sims, the assistant coach of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, former Comet coach, and the guy that engineered the Turner Cup.